What's up, guys? I'm Tim. This is New Craft Workshop. This is our Beginners Woodworking Series, Episode 5. Let's get to it. All right, guys, we got 3 more awesome projects. If you've never been here before, welcome in. We're glad you decided to join us today.
Join us!
If you've been here before, welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. So, as usual, we've got 3 awesome projects we are going to build today with 3 shop tools or less. Before we get into today's build, let me address just a quick couple things. I know I'm talking fast. I'm trying to keep this as short as possible. Number one, I haven't posted in a while because we were out of town for July 4th, and then we came back to this freaking hurricane, and I've been without power and internet till yesterday. So got out here and started this video for you guys. Number two, this is last week's winner. I sent him some stuff. He emailed me, said he received it. Thanked me very much, said it was awesome. All you have to do to be entered into our giveaway on this series is give us a like, leave us a comment, become a subscriber. One of those 3 things gets you entered. I give away something valued around $40 each time we do one of these videos. And finally, number 3, I've had some questions and comments about some of the Amazon videos I have done, as well as the links I'm leaving in the description. It's my way of getting support from you guys without asking you for your support. This channel is not free. And I don't ever want to be a channel that says, hey, viewers, support me by joining my Patreon or sending me donations. I don't want to do that. I don't ever want to do that. I do this because I love it and I want to grow this community, but it is not free and I do need a little financial support to keep it rolling. So links in the description below are always going to be products that, number one, I believe are a great value. And number 2, they are products that I use and believe in here at New Craft Workshop. So anytime you click one of those links, it gets you to Amazon, which most of you are shopping at anyway. Even if you don't buy the item, it links to everything you buy. Once you get to Amazon through my link, helps us out and helps us grow this channel. That's it. No more talking. Let's get to build number 1.
Project 1 is a very simple, easy to build wooden crate compared to the cost of buying these things retail. Get out in your shop and you can make these for about 20% of the retail cost.
Okay, so this week we're going to change it up just a little bit. I've had a lot of comments in the previous video saying that I don't need to take you guys with me over to the miter saw every time I go. There's really no need to take you at all. I'm going to start putting cut lists right here. I've changed my editing software and hopefully this is going to help. A lot of people ask for it. So today we're going to start with this crate, and this is going to be a very simple build. If you were part of the video 2 episodes ago, I think we built a condiment caddy. It's going to be the same basic premise. The reason we're building a crate is, I'll give you a couple reasons. So one, they can come in handy for storage, especially out in your garage. 2, you can make this for a quarter of the price of what you're going to pay for this. I'll post some screenshots up here of what you're going to pay for these things at like the big box store and the craft stores and stuff. It's kind of crazy. What we're going to be using today is going to be some 1x10 material. I have cut these 1x10s down to 7 inches tall. I've cut them 7 inches long, but it's going to be the height of this when we're finished. And we've cut these slats down to 14 inches. You can buy slats at the big box store, you can buy them at the craft stores, or you can go to the paint department at the big box stores, buy the yardsticks, cut them to whatever length you want. This particular build design that I'm going to give you today is completely adjustable. You can scale this up to whatever you want. We're doing ours today, 1x10, 7 inches tall. I've got crates out here that my wife uses for storage that I've used a 1x12 and I've gone about 10 inches tall. Completely up to you. Like I've told you so many times on this channel, I give you the blueprints and then it's up to you to customize them. So all we're going to do today is we're going to need 13 pieces at 14 inches long. That's where I got the 14 from. And then 2 pieces of 1x10 cut to 7 inches in height. That's going to be it. We're going to need glue and we're going to need some brad nails. I am going to start by grabbing a clamp real quick. I just want something to stabilize this when I start getting these brads in, so give me 2 seconds. All right, so we're just gonna put this clamp on here just to kind of stabilize this thing. So this right here is technically going to be our bottom. It's longer than our sides. We're gonna start by gluing and tacking our two end pieces on, and then we're gonna just kind of fill in the others spaced evenly. We're gonna want 5 along the bottom, 4 along each side. And this is as simple as getting this in this corner, tacking it in place, and if I turned on my brad nailer, it probably would help. And then we're going to come over and do the other side because we want to just space evenly these 3 in the middle. This is going to be a super quick, super easy build today, guys. I'm just going to center this one, and I am out of nails. Not sure why this is not staying, but we'll try it again. And now we're going to follow up with 4 along each side, starting at the bottom, put 1 at the top, and then same thing, we're going to space the 2 in the middle evenly. All right, that is it. A very basic build today, but a very functional and usable item that you will like to have these things around, I promise. We do a little gardening, peppers, onions, tomatoes, the basics. These come in handy when we pull veggies. Customize this thing. Take a 1-inch paddle bit or a Forstner bit, drill you a couple holes here, connect them with your jigsaw, sand that thing down, and you have a handle on either end for easier carrying. If you make this thing taller, you're going to need an extra slat on either side. If you make this thing wider, you'll probably need 1 extra slat to accommodate the width. That's it for build 1. It's time to get onto that cool hanging basket stand, so let's get after build number 2.
Project 2 is this plant stand. It's made from 1x4s and 2x4s. You can stain and seal this or put on a nice thick coat of exterior grade paint. This is going to look great on your patio or porch, and it's going to blend with any decor.
Project 2. Here's your cut list. 2x4s. You're going to need 2 pieces at 24, 2 pieces 33, 1x4, 24-inch piece, a 1x6, a 28-inch piece, and a 1x8, 30-inch piece. If I didn't say it right, the cut list is right, I promise. I think I said it right though. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build our frame out of our 2x4s. It's basically going to go just like this. And yes, I know it looks tall, but by the time you put a hanging basket in here and it is flowering, it needs to be this tall. So we're using 2.5-inch long construction screws. I am going to put a little glue in here. Screws are going to do almost all of the holding, but we are going to use glue. And we are using Titebond 3 since we are outside. Titebond 3 is what you need for exterior. This is completely waterproof. So we are going to glue and screw these 4 corners. 24 inches is our width. We want our vertical pieces on top of this 2x4. We do not want them on the side because then none of the other pieces we cut are going to fit. So we need it just like this. Glue, screws, let's get this frame together. And I do my best to listen to you guys in the comments. I'm sure that you know if you've commented on any of my videos, I always respond. The more subscribers I get, it's getting more difficult, but I always respond. And I do listen to each and every one of your suggestions. except for those of you who have told me to quit using my fingers to spread glue. Sorry, man, it's the easiest way to spread it, and it's the easiest thing to clean up. Okay, our frame is built. Now we need to start getting all of the other pieces put on. Now, this is the top. I should explain this. This is the top up here. This is just a decorative piece that's going to go here, that's going to hide the hook that we're going to put here where the pot is going to hang. This particular piece, we want to put this on first so that when we put our 1x6 on top, we can center it over both pieces. If we were to, hopefully you guys can see this on this side camera, if we were to center this here, when we add our 1x4, we're not going to have enough of a reveal here to make it look the way we want it to look. So we're going to install this piece first. Then when we put our 1x6 on, we will center that over this particular setup. So this is going to get some glue as well as some brad nails. Brads, we're going to use 1.25 long. I'm trying my best this episode because I do listen to you guys when you leave your comments and suggestions below. I'm doing my best to shorten the length of the beginners series videos down from 30 minutes to closer to 20. And in the process, that'll eliminate some of the time I talk with you guys. So let me know down in the comments below this video if you prefer the short and sweet version, or if you kind of like just hanging out a little bit more like we did the first couple episodes. So I'll let you guys decide down below. So glue, brads, let's get this thing in place. And for the record, I absolutely love this nail gun. One of the best things I've bought myself in quite a while, but I'm still not used to the fact that it turns off after a little bit. All right, it's time to get our top and bottom on this thing. So all we're going to do is I'm just going to use some 2x4s to kind of space this because we are going to need a little bit of room here to work. And we're going to take this and we're going to get our measurements here. Hopefully you can see this on this side. Let me get this glue and stuff out of you guys' way. So this now is 4 1/4 inch. A 1x6 is 5.5. So 5.5 minus 4 1/4. Quickly. 1 1/4 inch divided by 2 is 5/8 and 5/8. So we want 5/8 inch overhang on either side. As far as our width, we cut this at 24. We cut this at 28. It's going to give us 4 inches on either side. So that's going to be easy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mark in 4 inches from either end. And I think I've told you this before. Like, I can't keep a pin. I just don't know what happens. And oh, check it out. I got a roll of towels out here because my red shop rags, that's another thing. Like, I literally can't keep around. So
Literally.
4 inches and 5 1/8. You know what I just did? That should be 2 inches because guess what I didn't do? I didn't math.
Math is hard.
And I didn't realize that my board was 4 inches. So that's 2 inches on either side.
Duh!
All right, here we go. Now we got it. 2 inches and 5/8 in the front. All right, let's rotate this thing around. And let's get this bottom piece on. This is going to be the 1x8. Same thing here. Now this one actually is going to have a 3-inch overhang here, and we do want this centered in this board. So 2x4s are how long? 3.5. A 1x8 is how big? It's actually 7.5. So we have 3.5 here, 7.5 here, which is a difference of 4 inches. So we're going to have a 2-inch lip on either side, here and here. And we cut this board 6 inches longer. And since I didn't do math proper the last time, I'm going to take that 6 and divide it by 2. So we're going to have a 3-inch overhang on either side, just like we're supposed to. So we'll do 3 inches here, 3 inches here. Same thing, we're going to run some glue right down the middle of this. And since I made the glue spreader people happy last time, we will use it again. And before I drive screws through the bottom, which we are going to do, and we are going to use 1 1/4 inch long screws because this is only 3/4 thick. We really don't need anything longer than that. I do want to just double verify, since I just put a brad in either side, that we are spaced evenly. 2x4s can look extremely straight, but coming from the big box store, never ever trust that they are. So I'm just going to put a few screws along the bottom. Not even going to pre-drill. This 1x pine is extremely soft. We're going into a 2x4. I wouldn't bother at all. Project 2 is done. 2x4s, 1x4, and a hook. Other than the plant, this thing is finished. Now, this is pine, so it does need to be protected. We are going to paint this with a nice thick coat of exterior grade paint and primer all in one, but feel free to stain this or simply put some Thompson's water seal on here. Now remember, if you do any kind of sealant, it's going to require regular maintenance. Paint is going to last a lot longer. We're going to paint ours so I don't have to get out there every 6 to 9 months and refinish this thing. So a hook, finish. Project 2 is done. Time to move on to Project 3.
And finally, we're building this rustic looking bath shelf from pallet wood. This is going to hold a glass of wine, a candle, your iPad, and a book. And this is going to be perfect for those relaxing evenings after a long, hard day out in your shop.
All right, Project 3. This is going to be the quickest assembly and the most simple build I think we have probably done on the beginners series. You're going to need 2 measurements from your specific bathtub. Exterior width, interior width. Exterior width will determine how long these boards are. Interior width will determine where these are mounted to fit inside of the lip of the tub. These are going to stabilize this from shifting back and forth. We don't want this sliding and falling into the tub. You don't want that to happen if you're gifting this, trust me. So I know my dimensions. I know where I'm going to line this up. I'm going to wood glue this in place, and I am going to use screws. I want this thing to stay as stable as possible. And yes, pallet wood is extremely rough. We don't want splinters in the bathtub especially. So once this stuff is mounted, I am going to sand. I'm not going to bore you to death with all the sanding, but right now we're going to get these pieces glued and screwed into place. For those of you who have used pallet wood before, you'll know it is not quite as soft as 1x4 pine that you get from the big box store. So I am going to pre-drill and countersink prior to driving these screws in there. And for those of you who noticed, this side is a little offset. It's just the way my tub is designed. When this goes in, we actually have a tile wall on this side of the tub, and we don't on this side. So the lip of the tub is a little bigger on this side than it is on that side. Just make sure you take lots of measurements. That way you don't avoid putting this thing together and it's not right. So measure before you cut. Next thing we're going to do is drill a hole for the wine glass, and then we're going to notch out so that the the stem of the wine glass can slip in and it can rest in the hole. If you do not have a jigsaw, you're going to see me using my jigsaw. If you do not have one, don't worry. Mark your lines like I'm going to do once this hole is drilled, and simply use your handsaw. Not a problem at all. I know we talk on this series about 3 tools or less, and I know sometimes I cheat by using the sander. You guys might not have a sander. By using my jigsaw, you might not have one, but this can be done with a simple handsaw. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to drill a 2-inch diameter hole right in the center of this board. Now, as you can tell, I'm measuring very precisely where this is going to go because it's rustic. Do what you need to do. I'm actually going to put a 2x4 underneath here so that when I come through the back side, I don't get tear out. Anytime you're drilling with a Forstner bit or a paddle bit, it's best to put some kind of board underneath the material you're drilling through. It will help prevent blowout on the backside when a large bit comes through like that. So that's why this is back here. So I'm going to drill a 2-inch hole with this Forstner bit, and then we'll mark out for our notch. And you got to love the fact that a Forstner bit is one of the least messy bits that you can use. There's very little dust that a Forstner bit creates. So yeah, let's mark this off, and we're going to cut out our notch for the stem. I'm just going to kind of eyeball where I want this. Again, does not have to be super precise. We're going to make a mark there and a mark there. We're going to cut out these 2. That'll allow the stem of the wine glass to slip in there. So let me grab my jigsaw and we'll get these 2 notches cut out. So the 2 notches that we drew right here, we're just going to notch these out, and that's that. Project 3 is wrapped up, and so is this week's episode. Every time we do one of these beginners series videos, I try my best to give away something between $30 and $50. If we can meet these numbers right here with some likes and subscribes and some comments, I step that up to $75. And all you need to do to be entered into that is to subscribe, share, click like, leave us a comment, one of those things. We wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for you guys, and we greatly appreciate your support. So for this week, we're done. We'll see you soon. Catch you on YouTube.